Hello Gemini, I'm Melanie Florence and this is Hot Tea for the Soul. We're doing an August edition. Here we are, the horse's birthday. So August, we're going to do a few different cards from a few different decks, right? And then I'm going to build up with a reading that is going to go through our spiritual beings, what's going on with that, and our mental being and what's going on with that, our emotional being, where's that at, and our temple, our 3D world, like what we've got going on in the practical. So let's kick it off. I've been doing this for 25 years. I've been reading the Greenwood for a long time, right? So tarot has been my thing. If you've got any questions, hit me up because I'm thinking about doing some tutorial videos. Going through the suits, going through the numbers, what each individual does, what they do. Anyway, different decks. Let's see what comes out. For you, we've got toadstools, we've got growth. All right, might feel like you've been sitting in the dark, might feel like you've been sitting there doing nothing. In the dark, toadstools. You know what? Fungi is just all over the place. It's really great. It kept on metamorphizing. It's great. It's a slithery like sign that we have that like really goes across the planet. And so the fungi will take over after us and demolish us. Alright, but this is really a growth period. It keeps growing. So you might be sitting in a really fertile, nice, dark room, feeling something growing inside of you. Alright, that's a good place to start, Gemini. Let's start with the toadstool. Alright, you. We want you. Life purpose. Alright, so you're sitting there thinking about your life purpose. What's your tree? What are you going to leave behind? The roots that we put in, that foundation that we put in. What are the roots that you're putting in, Gemini? What's the tree you're going to grow? What are you feeding the roots? What are you going to leave behind? What's your legacy? What is your life purpose? What is it? What is it that you're looking for? What is it, Gemini, that you're looking for? Life purpose. Alright, so you're slowly growing. No, not you. You. Oh, kick over there. Alright, so let's go. What have we got from this deck for you, Gemini? All of a sudden it's upon us. We're in August. Here we are. The moon. Secrets. Secrets and cycles. Everything comes in cycles. The moon's got 13 in the year. It ebbs and flows. It's got secrets. So maybe you're discovering the secrets of your life purpose in here while you're growing. Maybe there's secrets that you hold that you need to go into to look at your discoveries, right? But we go through this moon process. In the Aboriginal society, this is actually a masculine energy. So we go through all these processes. We go through our cycles in life. And you've got some secrets inside there. We keep some. What is the moon hiding? Is there knowledge that you're looking for, that you're still looking for? Good place to start. All right, so we are going to come to the Greenwood. So I'm going to do 3 cards for each body, and we're going to come over that twice. We're going to go over that twice. I'm going to do some confirmation cards. You guys can do whatever you like with these videos. Alright, but I'm glad you're here. So we're going to do 3 cards for your spiritual being. What do we got? There's 1 that slipped out. What do we got? 2. Oh, we are. Yeah. Spiritual being might be a little bit frustrating. We'll see what that first card is. Oh, Green Man. You're taking a stance. Alright, so this is nice, strong energy. This is our really worldly being. He is the emperor. He's all the kings put together. You know what? The subjects are not necessarily his thing. The actual environment is the animals, the trees. You know, he's really the king of his domain. He really is the emperor of all that he surveys. And it's a real strength to his intestinal fortitude, to his will, passion, and drive inside of this. That is what he's about. So you're really taking control on the physical world, right? That's the sort of power that you've got in your spiritual being. Nice, right? So we've got a spiritual being empowered in the physical world. Excellent. A lot of ideas. Bit frustrating. So you might be putting a lot of ideas out there at the moment. You've got arrows hitting all over the place. Might be a lot of conversations, and they're sensory conversations. They're of the 5, Gemini. So we're having sensory conversations, maybe about development, building, where that's going. You as a person, those arrows, I don't feel like they're hitting. But there's an emotional aspect to this. This is a top thumping like night. He's going to get knocked down. He's get back up again, right? It's a little bit immature in its execution, and maybe that's why we've got these frustrations in here. Maybe it needs to be a little bit more genuine. But these are emotions of love. So if you're feeling maybe some emotions of love, it might be all a little bit stirred up because you've got this real strong, stable application to the world with this Green Man, which is really airy sort of energy as well. Like strong, right? But frustrated going everywhere because we're being a bit of a knight. There's of your emotions, and this is in your side of your spiritual being, right? We'll get back to that. We're going to go on to the mental being. What's going on in our mental communications, our intellectual being? How are we going in our mind? That's one out for Gemini. That's two out for Gemini. One more on the deck, please, for Gemini for the month of August. Just one. Oh, okay. You're conveying your strength of purpose, your morals, your being, your fibre of your being. The sun shines from it, right? So this is a nice, strong character, Leo sort of energy. We've got our cup full and we know where that is in our house fire, and we're really standing strong in our communications of our actual strength and purpose of the being, what we are. Right, nice, Gemini. And over here, so this is how we're communicating. This is our intellect. We actually have the king over here. So you're talking like the king. You're talking like the king of emotions over here, which is a nice exoteric sort of energy. This is really taking purpose and taking like responsibility for those. And you're talking like the king in the strength and maybe of the father. This is the father sort of figure sort of thing, looking after that. Like, so maybe you're talking that this is the energy that you have. In the background, you're not necessarily given that. But this is an emotional rebirth, so you're breaking free of something. Like this is where, you take the bones from the old life and you put them in the pots and we regenerate and we make something new from it, Gemini. Right. So there's a new space. Very emotional. Right, but this is your intellectual being, how you're communicating it in strength as an emotional being in this rebirth that you're going through. Alright, so 3 more for your emotional being, even though, alright, for your emotional being. Alright, we're talking the talk. Your emotional being's at rest, right? Because you're rolling the dice. This is Wheel of Fortune stuff. Right, so you're not over-intellectualizing this process. You're not overthinking. Your monkey brain's at rest, right? What you're going to is Wheel of Fortune, where we change everything. Right, so we let go of what is not serving us anymore, and that still is a part of our fabric, and we hold on, and we put new colours into our fabric, or we make this new cloak that we weave our world from, right? And that's rolling the dice and rolling the wheel and spinning the wheel. All right, one more for your emotional being. That's good. It's not overt. See, you're at rest while this transition's going on, because you know that there's going to be an emotional new beginning. Because there's an emotional new beginning, and you know that. You know that the inside of you, your heart, is in a new spot. It's gone through a lot, and you can express that. All right, but you're at rest. Your emotional being is, you're drinking from the waters of life, so you know that everything's changed. You're in a new emotional spot than you weren't in before, which is good. Your emotional being's not over the top. Surprise, Gemini. So we're going to move to the temporal being, our earthly being. What do we got going on here in the practical world? What we're dealing with, Gemini? Creating balance, getting health. This is a moment that you just stop. This is temperance. This is where we stop and put our feet in the healing waters and stop at the lagoon for a moment and just have patience to balance ourselves out and heal. So we might be waiting for an equilibrium. Surprise, Gemini. Like, alright. And so there's a balancing healing spot inside of here where you balance out in your light and your dark, and it's about respecting your journey, and it's respecting your path. Alright, respecting the battle to how you got here, respecting your morals, respecting yourself. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Respect is a man with a very big stick. Okay, and here's another man with a very, very big stick. Justice is also a man with a very big stick. What you put in is what you get out, right? So this is a reciprocal spot. This is really nice because this is a rest spot and this is a rest spot also. So even though your spirit is like agile and got some stuff going on and it's maybe like a teenager, right? Empowered teenager, because it's a real strong place that you're coming from as your foundation. But what we've got here is 2 rest spots in here, and you know that you're going through a transition and we're coming out of a new emotional plane, but you're rested inside of your emotional being, which is nice, right? And so in our physical being, we're looking for healing and we're respecting the process and respecting how we got to here, and you know what you're going to get out is what you put in. We've got that tree again, the tree of life inside of here. What you put in is what you get out. We're looking for life purpose, and the justice comes from that karma. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. All right, we're going to do another layer over the top of this. Thank you for still being here. All right, I'm going to do it with a different deck. What deck am I going to do it with today? I'm going to do it with you. Okay, so what do we go back to this green man? So we've got this frustration in the middle in here. So there is a communication issue, but it's not the sensors. It's really bouncy. It's a bit of energy. Not everything hits, and that's what's going on. So we've got the Wheel of Fortune again. We're changing, we spin that wheel. Sometimes you're on top, sometimes you're on bottom. Sometimes we just got to spin the deal, take the lock, roll the dice, and that's where you are. And you're in the position to do that, because on the material plane, you've got strength and fortitude. And you know what? It's about triumph, spiritual triumph, right? So we've got spiritual triumph coming through here. So have these conversations that are frustrating you, perhaps, is what you need to do to make the difference between where this person is and this person is. Because on a spiritual level, they're in two different places, right? This Green Man and this Knight of Cups, you know, you need to have conversations, because there is a triumphant energy in the air from stemming this wheel, from taking these chances inside of a spiritual, taking the risks and taking the pumps. And that's what your intuition is meant to tell you. All right, because this is making about a long time future, and we've got that respect card out, coming out again. All right, different card, believe it or not, same energy. Believe it or not, they're both about respect. So this is about respecting your path, but it's also, again, about respecting your legacy. All right, so we're talking about legacy, long-term investment, and we've got that tree one more time. What you put in, that's what you get out. And this is on a community level. This is on a very broad level. And this has got triumphant energies. You are triumphant, and it's about respecting your spirit. And then we're respecting this heart. We're respecting this knight. We're not dissing him. All right, there's conversations in the middle of this that will make the triumphs that you look and you seek for on a spiritual level. All right, Gemini, deep. We're going to go on to your mental being. You've got strength. You've got strength of mind and purpose and how you're communicating this. You actually have got justice, and you know. And you communicate as a king. As a king, so the pose of this knight, that's what we were waiting for, I guess, for this king to sit on your intellectual levels. So this could be a lover. This is a father figure. Like, it is a strength, and there's a rebirth inside of it that's recommitting to the heart of this matter. And it's about fulfillment. You know, we roll dice, but we also put dominoes in play. Alright, and we're ready to put those in play, and we make that connection in the middle of that. We actually get this fulfillment and desire. And again, manifesting. So you're going to manifest from this spot of a strong, passionate heart. Gemini, there's a strong, passionate heart here, and it's very stable. And this is a manifestation and really bringing things fruitful into life. And then the generosity, like, and reciprocation and charitable, like it's you know, really being able to give to the world. From a real deep place. Alright, one more time. What have we got for this rebirth on your mental level? So you've got an emotional rebirth on a mental level. Alright, wishing at the moon. Wishing at the moon. Alright, this is really incandescent light. There's sometimes we don't know. There's things we don't always know. There's a mystic spot inside of this. There's a mystic spot that we look for. It's fertile. It's got a fertile energy. So out of all of this, it's probably so far the most wishy-washy energy on the table. But it really is sort of saying you don't know, and this is a really fertile rebirth, and it's an emotional rebirth, again, with this moon inside of here, and this is a water element. Got a lot of water sitting here in your emotional state, in mental space. But it's really like watching for the illusion, but watching for the dream as well. It's a dream space. All right. You're a dream space with your mental space. All right, and it's very fertile emotional stuff, and it's a reciprocal. Like, what you put in is what you get out. There's a lot of what you put in is what you get out inside of this reading. All right, Gemini, so we're going to go back to your emotional being. We're rested. You know the world's turning. You've rolled the dice twice inside of here, right? We roll the dice twice. You're rolling dice all over the place because you've got a new emotional space. What have we got going on with this rest card? Oh, you're taking a transition. You're going from one spot to another. In your mind, it's like, I'm not there anymore. I made this transition. I walked over the bridge, and I'm over in that spot now. And that's where my mind's at with all of this. And I'm at rest with that. I left the spot that I was in. This is on your emotional level. I left the spot that I'm in, and I'm at rest with that, and I have made that transition across. Emotionally, no. And so the Wheel of Fortune is, you know, perhaps this is actually, this card is about reuniting yourself with things, with childhood things, family, friends. It's reuniting yourself with childhood dreams. Really remembering that inner space and remembering your inner child. So while you're going through this transition, it's respecting that path. Right, but really respecting this transition is looking back at, you are going to be looking back at some of these spaces. Maybe you're going to be looking back at this younger night. Maybe that's what this is. All right, but this is reconnecting with childhood dreams and, you know, who you were, like, not who you are. Because sometimes we get confused if we layer ourselves. But you've made transition and you got to a new space, all right, in your remembrances. And that Knight of Emotions out again. Tub thumper. He gets knocked down, he gets back up again. He's back, he's out swimming in it all. So you're reinvigorated with all of this, and there is a passionate heart involved with all of this, Gemini. So this guy is passionate and he's moving forward. Like, it's not really fucking around. All right, and we've got a lot of emotions on the table in here. All right, so we've got 3 more cards for your, 2 for the, this is in your physical world. All right, so we are. All right, you need to get to the heart of the matter. So you need to have conversations in the real world, right? Not just think about them. Right? Because to get this balance, to gain this balance, you need to get to the heart of the matter. What hurt you? What are your insecurities? Like, are there 3 parties? But this is really balancing that out, having the communications that really matter to get to the heart of the matter. And this is, again, this is a lot of text messages. This is a lot of, like, text messages. This is a lot of conversations. Like, and it should be happy. There's a lot of energy inside of that, right? And respecting yourself, Gemini. What you put in is what you get out. Respecting your path. Right. So, one more. Generosity of emotions. So this comes to a really generous spot in here. There's a real abundant generosity inside of here. We have the 8 up here. And then we've got the 9. Like, and this is, you know, here you're making the soup. Right? Making the soup from your bones, old bones of your life. Here you're sharing the soup. Everybody's sharing the soup. And they're pouring into your cup. You're pouring into their cup. And it's a really generous reciprocal cycle. All right, 3 more cards, Gemini, and we're done. What have we got for the soul level for August? What have we got on top of all of this? We're going to good places. There is abundance and legacy inside of here. You're respecting yourself inside of this a lot, which is fantastic. Reconnecting. You really have made a transition for growth and you're looking at life purpose. You need to delve into your secrets. The moon has turned up twice here. Right, and so maybe you've got extracellular stuff that you're looking into because there is a growth process inside of here. But there's also dream spaces inside of there and shadow spaces that you might not be dealing with in yourself. Gemini, 1 more, 2 more. What have we got for Gemini? Speed, movement, take it on. Whoop-ah! All right, look at that, jumping out, taking it on. All right, so this has got a real driven force inside of it, and it's active activation energy because it's got a little air to it, but speed, taking it on, bringing it on. Act with haste. There's something going on. It's time to take it on. Movement. Maybe you need to move. Maybe you need to get out and move, go for a walk, Gemini. All right. Oh, and breathe. Speed, move, breathe, life. All right. So breathe it in, breathe the life in. You know, don't sit on the edge of us. Take it with a haste. So you've got movement to the life and breathe, breath, right? So we're breathing it in. All right, that's fantastic. Gemini, very Gemini, Aries, air feeling just here. And again, air feeling. We got gravity and groundedness. All right, Gemini. So what is the gravity of everything that's going on around you? Maybe sometimes it's got to let go. Sometimes you bring it in. All right, there's a lot of force in here. There's a lot of air force in these last 3 cards. So there's a lot of, you need to communicate yourself. You need to communicate what this issue is in the middle of here because it really is this foundation, like where your frustration is, where your insecurities are, where you might not trust people. There's a growth period in here. We're looking for your life purpose. There's a real dream space where you look for your inner secrets. And look, you're allowed to float around in a little bit, but there's a bit of movement and life and breath in the action in the end of this, not surprisingly, Gemini. This looks interesting. There's a lot of abundance in here. There's a lot of reciprocity inside of inside the heart, and there's like a real turning in here. You've moved across a space. Finding your life purpose is always an interesting spot. Really dream it out a little bit. Respect your rebirth in all of this, Gemini, because you really have come to a new and emotional space. Take it on, bring it on. I hope that you have a great time and you're safe and well, and I'll catch you on the flip side.